Hello, everybody. This is your host, Justin Romero. We're here with the Starving Podcast. Our first sponsor is GenoPalate. They're a DNA nutrition company that analyzes your genes. They tell you if you digest and absorb vitamins appropriately, such as vitamin D, A, K, and E. They'll tell you about a variety of sensitivities, such as gluten, lactose, and they tell you how you metabolize protein, carbs, and fat. Your DNA is the future of your nutrition, and it's there to unlock your performance, weight loss, and health goals. It is the next wave of nutrition coaching. So if you're looking for your DNA data, head over to the link in our bio and get $20 off your order using code CBG. Our second sponsor is X Endurance. They're a third-party tested supplement company. They have your proteins, they have your creatines, they have your omega D3. So if you're looking for products that are third-party tested and verified externally outside that of the company so that you know exactly what it is you're taking, head over to the link in our bio, get 10% off your first order with X Endurance. Our third sponsor is Dad Bod Fitness Online. This is run by some of the best CrossFit athletes in the game. Ben Smith, Dane Smith, Adam Klink. As you guys know, Adam Klink actually was the first man ever to just run a 5-minute mile and back squat 500 pounds within the same day. So their program works. They have a back squat program and a running program that can help you achieve similar goals. So if you're looking to get your workouts done in 20 to 40 minutes and you're looking for that dad bod sesh, that mom bod sesh, head over to the link in our bio, get to Dad Bod Fitness, and ask them the questions that you might have. Our fourth sponsor is Consistency Breeds Growth. They're a remote nutrition company that does customized nutrition. Their one-on-one approach is easy to adhere to, and they teach you along the way. Their intrinsic diet is their signature product. And if you're looking to work with one of their coaches, head over to the link in our bio, go to their website, use code CBG, and get 10% off your order with one of their coaches. Today we have a special podcast. My buddy Jordan's going to be interviewing me on FosterFit, a fundraising that we're actually trying to do to raise money for a variety of kids in foster care. So please stay tuned.
It's science.
Hey, my buddy Jordan, how's it going, man?
Hey now, it's been a hot minute. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, we're back on here. So you've been busy with your PhD stuff, essentially.
Just a little bit. Nothing crazy though.
But
Not
almost
a little
done.
too crazy.
Almost done.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about FosterFit. Justin brought this to my attention in the middle of the night. He called me. He's like, oh, I got this idea, and I go, okay. Like I usually say to Justin, I don't fight his ideas. I just go with them. But I was really the more I found out about this, I'm about it. I'm not even gonna spoil it. I'm gonna let Justin take it away. So Justin, what is FosterFit? Give us the brief rundown, and then I'm gonna zoom in on some of the specifics of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So FosterFit is an online competition. So this year will be FosterFit 2020, and it's an online CrossFit competition. And since it's online, anybody in the world could sign up and do these events. Speaking of the events, there are going to be 3 events, and they're going to be released on November 14th. By the time you hear this podcast, the movement standards will be out, and you'll be able to have a little bit more of an understanding as to which division you should be in. So the 2 divisions that we have are the RX and Scale division. So only 2 divisions this year. We're looking to potentially expand that in later years. But the RX and Scale division will both be combined unisex. So meaning males and females will be on the same leaderboard. So it's going to be super badass. So if you're looking to like compete against your husband or your boyfriend or some guy you like or some girl you like at your gym, whatever, you can compete directly with them on the leaderboard. And obviously everything will be equated for male female weights and and things like that. So the events will be released the 14th, but you can actually complete the events between the 16th and 21st. And you can complete the events, those 3 events, whenever you want in that time frame after they're released, and submit them through the Wodify Arena Judges app. So for this competition, you'll need to go to the link that we'll have in the show notes after this, or in any of our bios, and you can sign up. And then after you sign up, you need to find an appropriate judge, and that judge goes to sign up as well. But he or she could purchase a free judge's ticket. And with that judge's ticket, they can download the Wodify Arena app and submit your scores. So that's all of sort of the logistics of the competition. It costs $50 to sign up. Anybody can do it. It's online, and we're trying to get a lot of gyms to participate because between that week of the 16th to the 21st, you can actually incorporate the 3 events as your Metcons, for example. And it'd bring more awareness to what it is that we're doing. Some of the events are pretty cool so far that we've come up with. We have 2 to 3 events already mapped out. We'll have the 3rd one shortly. So, yeah, it's exciting, man. We're real excited to do this, and you can also donate separately as well. So if you're not looking to compete.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that if we can, if say we didn't kind of shed that pandemic craziness, maybe that 5 or 10 extra, that cookie weight, if we just want to donate to a good cause, if we could do that. And just remind me again, is it a team of 2 competition? Is it a single or what?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's going to be an individual competition. Hopefully we can expand in more years to have teams and things like that, especially since it's online. There's really, the sky's the limit. So these online competitions, there aren't that many that are coming as a result of the quarantine and stuff. But as we know, the Open's an online competition every year. So there's no reason why we can't get people on board to do this and be a part of it. And yes, you can absolutely donate through the same link that you would sign up for if you're not looking to compete right now. You might be dealing with an injury, or you just want to, as you said, just support a good cause. There, we are taking just donations only. So
I like it, and I think it's a good, as nobody wants to think about it going into the holiday season. This is right before Thanksgiving, and I think it's a nice way to get the community involved. I've seen a lot of buzz even around people who aren't directly connected with the podcast already sharing it. So I'm pretty confident. So Justin, I want to ask you, we've talked about, it can maybe glean its purpose already, but can you explain what the overall purpose and the mission of Foster Fit is?
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, the big purpose of this is to enrich the lives of kids in foster care, so foster youth. So it's going to include young as well as teens, so anywhere from the age of 5 to 18. So that's really the overall goal. And in terms of why the foster youth need help, so there's, in the U.S. at least, there's about 500,000 kids in foster care. And you got to remember, like, a lot of these kids are either the mother or biological mother or father is not equipped at birth to be a parent, and some of them want what's best for their child. So they want to either give the child up for adoption, or they go into the foster care system. What's more common is that kids are actually taken out of homes as a result of abusive or emotional based interactions between the biological parents and the child. So you can imagine that the majority of foster youth, at least a significant portion of them, are they have complicated medical issues, mental health issues, developmental issues, psychosocial problems rooted in their family of childhood trauma, basically. And it becomes increasingly important to help these kids that had no choice, right? Like they didn't choose to be in foster care, right? They're completely innocent and just trying to navigate their childhood. So, and to go through some of the hardships that a lot of them went through is devastating to me. It's and to many others, obviously, for other people that support this cause. It's definitely something that we feel extremely passionate about. And based on just the statistics alone, I mean, 50% of kids in foster care don't graduate high school.
It's
You know,
incredible. It
yeah.
really is.
So like, yeah. I mean, this is insane. I mean, now it's like expected of everyone, or was 5 to 10 years ago, for the majority of millennials, that not only did you not graduate high school, but you were expected to go to college
At least.
at the
At
very
the very
least.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, these kids, they 50% of them don't graduate high school, right? And the average number of times that they change homes in foster care. So it's not that they get taken out of foster care and they are actually placed with this wonderful like The Blind Side. They're like, placed with this wonderful mother and father that have a bunch of money, and they're great. No, it typically doesn't happen that way. A lot of foster care parents also find themselves not equipped to deal with, you know, just children in general, or teens in general, and they end up getting thrown around the system. The average is 7 times for foster youth to
That
change.
is that is fucking crazy. Excuse my language, but there's
Yeah,
no other way to describe that. Yeah, I think that I think that FosterFit has something that CrossFit, as we know, already has this idea of community, and so that it takes a village to get everybody towards a fitness goal. So I think it's naturally falling in line with that support that many foster kids and young adults may not be receiving from other areas. And like Justin just said, if they're being replaced and shuffled around 7 times, I mean, yeah, I think we've all had some personal experience with this, and I think that yeah, I don't think it's talked about well enough, and I think we have this blanket term of kids falling through the cracks for whatever it may be, but when you put numbers and you put faces to it, then I think you could see that not so that unsavory nature of it all. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, just take some time and just, if you're wondering a little bit more about this, obviously, we can't get through all of the statistics here on the podcast, but if you just take a little dive and just look at some of these kids' faces, I mean, if you go to adoption.com, you'll see what, you know, these kids' faces. It'll bring you to, it'll crumble you. It'll bring you to straight tears. It's 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 very difficult to research this and understand what some of these kids go through on a daily basis. It's difficult. It's something that's important, and we have to understand it because we're putting on a fundraiser to do this for these kids. So that's why we continue to research and understand a little bit more. But even if you wanted to just know a little bit more for yourself, knowledge about the difference in the lifestyle you may have had versus the difference in the lifestyle that these kids have, it's definitely worth looking at some different resources. Adoption.com, Big Brothers Big Sisters. There are some other obviously programs out there and places that you can look that are pretty easy to find. So
there's plenty of supports, and I think that it's right time that we start to use those and not have them as just a way to perpetuate the abuse. So we've talked about the overall goal and the actual competition side of it. So how we tie it to CrossFit. Could we go into what exactly, so we have this, we will generate this chunk of change. I am confident in that. So what will this money be going to actually do with the children in this case?
Yeah, so the goal currently is to raise between, you know, approximately around $10,000. We think that that's what we would need to bring this to fruition, right? And specifically, the money is going to be used to help 15 to 20 foster youth or teens, provide them CrossFit shoes and a 1 year CrossFit gym membership. So
That's great.
we want to partner obviously with the right gyms and things like that that are capable of doing this, but that's what the money is going to be used for that we're raising through this fundraiser. Keep in mind we're not a charity slash nonprofit organization yet. We do want to get this out to the world and get everyone involved who wants to be involved, whether that's through donating, sharing, competing in a competition to help raise this money. Eventually, if this is a success, which I have no doubt that it will be, that we'll directly convert this over to a nonprofit organization and continue sort of raising this money and putting on competitions for everybody in the CrossFit community to really be involved.
Easily. Yeah. So let's pivot just a tiny bit. And so uh, obviously, not yet foster fit can't take care of every child or young adult in need. So Justin, did you want to maybe elucidate some of the struggles you've had when you were, between taking this as a sort of abstract idea and then coming up with the competition side and then saying, okay, what may be the criterion for the gym, or who, which area will we be targeting? Could you just give us some ideas how you're making that happen?
Yeah. Yeah, this was not as easy. Not that we expected it to be easy, but it wasn't as easy as we originally planned for it to be. So if we decided to take the money and just give it to an agency, for example, it's pretty likely that they would use the money appropriately, but we don't know if it would be going specifically to what we wanted it to go to in the hands of the right kids and towards CrossFit. So I'll speak a little bit about why we want this to go specifically to CrossFit. So there's a lot of evidence that indicate that children and adolescents fare best when they're raised in stable homes with nurturing environments, respond to their needs with a reasonable set of structure, right? And children and teenagers also benefit from safe and reasonable childcare, educational, neighborhood activities with exposure to normalizing activities. So the key word there is like normalizing consistency. So in addition to that, obviously, overweight and obesity rates in teens are rising dramatically. It's upwards of 17, 18% as of 2019. And overweight and obesity obviously puts people at risk for a variety of different comorbidities later in life. And we don't think the combative approach to obesity and being overweight for kids is dieting, because there are a lot of studies that also show that adolescents in general are more likely to develop eating based disorders if they're put on restrictive based diets at a young age. So we suggest that the key to healing both these kids' lives and providing normalcy, as well as the overweight and obesity issue in adolescents and teens, is through moving around more. And we feel like the best prescriptive method for doing that and providing an elegant approach to that is CrossFit. And the huge reason for that is obviously when you're moving around at a variety of different intensities through aerobic and anaerobic strength work and moving your body in just a variety of different ways, this helps tremendously with weight loss. We tell our weight loss clients all the time through CBG, right, that they should have a blend of training. Okay, CrossFit provides that. So that covers the obesity health issue in teens and adolescents. And then for the normalcy, right, we talked a little bit about these kids changing homes 7 times, right? But imagine if they could they stay in their local area the majority of the times when they're changing these homes. Imagine if, we're working directly with the agency and and we continue to vet the money to the CrossFit gyms to have the foster youth continue to go to the same gym. And this is the normalcy that we're talking about, and this is the nourishing environment. I don't know about you, but at least for the majority of CrossFit gyms that I've been to and been a part of, there was a huge sense of community, a huge sense of love, nurturing environment, and we want to give these adolescent and teens the same support and love that we get on a daily basis when we go to our CrossFit gyms to work out with our friends. And that's really why we're choosing CrossFit. And to obviously, the more specific you get with what it is that you're choosing that you're going to do, the more work you put out for yourself. So there's a lot of different criteria involved with working with these kids. You can't just run up on an agency and say, hey, this kid goes to this gym, great, right? It doesn't work this way, right? There's a lot of moving parts here. So some of the struggles really revolve around matching the appropriate kids. So at the current moment, we're still in the fundraising process. We haven't matched any kids or targeted any gyms specifically that would be good for this. But you can imagine that once we are able to raise the money, the first thing that we need to do is find gyms that are appropriate for this. So gyms that if they want to take on teens, they're going to have the necessary on-ramp process. You can't just put a teen in your regular classes and expect him to excel at CrossFit or enjoy it. He or she needs that one-on-one attention with a coach to understand the modalities in the sport and the complexity of the sport. And when it comes to foster youth, in general, you have to have a CrossFit Kids class in place. At middle school age, high school, or even younger. Some gyms have younger. And it's great for the gym also, especially for at least some of the coaches, or at least one of the coaches, to have a CrossFit Kids certification. This obviously teaches you a variety of different things about working with kids and keeping them safe. And it's not just the workout itself, but making sure that they're from a behavioral standpoint, what's really the process for dealing with this in a kids class. And it's not something that comes naturally. You need experience doing this, and these are some of the criteria that we're, besides just passion, right? We're looking for in gyms. And then the other struggles are related to that of the social worker, the agency, and the child. So after we find the gyms that want to participate in this, we have to find the foster youth that also would like to participate, and that's us directly lining up with the agency for kids that they feel need it, would be good candidates. And then it's a matter of obviously doing the necessary waiver information. And these foster youth, they still, like, it's weird, it's very strange, they need their biological parents technically to sign off that they do particular things. So, and it differs from state to state, but particularly that's the case. And they depending on the agency and the social worker and people involved, you can obviously waive some of these things over towards the actual foster mother and father, or foster parents, whoever they may be, and they can actually sign off on the waiver liability and stuff for them to partake in the gym. But it's not uncommon for the agency to foster parents and the social workers to all be involved in making sure that the gym is a safe environment. So these are some of the struggles that we are facing, we're going to face as we're matching up kids. There's still obviously a lot to learn, but as of now, we're still really in the fundraising, donation process.
I think it's a very important process too, because I think that you can approach some of these agencies and say, hey, I want to help. I have this idea, but unfortunately, like Justin was saying, that if you don't have the logistics behind it, I have some experience with some after school programs and whatnot, and the biggest thing we always faced was being, 5 or 6 towns away, and so there's transportation, who's driving, the who's picking the kids up, who's dropping them off. So there's a lot of moving parts, but I don't think it's anything that when the passion and the dedication is there, that it's something uh, insurmountable. And I think that seeing the dedication that you do in most CrossFit gyms, there's many first responders, a lot of mental health workers, social workers, police officers, firefighters, that deal with this thing every day. And I think one of the good things about Foster Fit is that we're always talking about. I'm using the general you that we want to make a change. How do we do it? And this is from the ground up. We are admitting, okay, it's not perfect yet, but we're working it out, and there's the effort there. So let's go on to a different part of it. So my understanding of the Foster Fit program is that we have these scholarships more or less to provide a young adult, young exercise enthusiast with a full year CrossFit membership, give them some shoes, maybe get them some tall socks. So yeah, you gotta outfit the kids pretty well. So what is the responsibility with the supervision of, say, the foster parents and also the children? Are there any things that are they is there some sort of maintenance that they have to undergo? Like, you have to go to school this week, and then okay, you get to train. So what would be, say, the main? I don't know, maybe not scholarship is the best way, but what would be the best way to stay and secure that adherence to the program, where you're showing up to work out, and this is what we would like to see, maybe like a grade point average in school, other extracurriculars. Did you kind of maybe explain that a little bit to us?
Yeah. Yeah, so it basically is a scholarship, I would say. So they are selected um, through wanting to participate in the program, and the fact that their foster parents and agency feel like it can be a very empowering thing for them to be a part of a community like CrossFit. And this is another sort of struggle that we went through, is like, how do we make sure that the child adheres to the program, wants to be a part of something great, and how can we enrich their lives in other ways? And we are gonna for the kids that want to continue with the program every year, and because we're given the 1 year long membership, when that year is up and we raise more money, we want to be able to continue to offer that same CrossFit membership. And the requirements will be essentially to, yes, have a minimum C, so 2.0 grade point average in school, and be attending school, and also making sure that they're attending the CrossFit classes. So, and this will depend from gym to gym, but if they have 3 classes a week, we want them to attend at least 2 of those classes a week, so that they are getting the most out of the health community that CrossFit provides to people. So this will be sort of the prerequisite things for renewing the scholarship for the foster youth after year one.
No, I think it's a great idea. I also think there's especially if a young adult, going on to teens, it can kind of can reinforce some of the stability that I think we're all after at some point or another, but especially kids who have maybe lacked that growing up just through obviously no fault of their own. So we'll get into some of the last few things I wanted to talk about. So obviously we need a gym for this. We need CrossFit gyms. Um, so there's going to be a space for competing. But Justin, how should the interested gyms, interested parties, maybe larger donations, gyms across state lines, or maybe even there's somebody that doesn't have a CrossFit gym but just has like one hell of a weight room and they want to help out and add this to their business. What would be a way to get in contact with you or to start the ball rolling with this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so as you pointed out, it's not just CrossFit gyms. We want to obviously target CrossFit gyms for the variety of reasons that I put up before, but there are other like sports gyms and things like that that help people, with baseball, and they help, create more power in football athletes and things like that. So there are opportunities for those gyms too. So if you're hearing this and you're looking to be a part of this, please reach out to us. But yeah, we want gyms to be a part of this really in two ways. Is one, trying to get your members involved with the competition. It's We'll give you the three events. Consider it free programming. Take it, put it into your workouts for the week, and get at least mention that this is Foster Fit Workout One with the name of the workout, and just to bring more awareness to us, and hopefully people will either donate or participate and pay the $50 to compete and be on the leaderboard. And then the other way that gyms can be involved is actually being considered for, taking some of these foster youth into their gyms and into their kids' classes or on-ramp classes for teens, whatever it might be. And yeah, this is the two ways. And if you are interested in an application to do that, or are interested in doing the sort of the online competition in your gym and putting the workouts into your workouts for the week, you can email us at fosterfitcompetition@gmail.com, and we'll give you all the WODs ahead of time so that you can incorporate them in your programming and stuff, and send you the application if you're looking to participate even further by taking some of these youth into your your gyms.
That's awesome. Yeah, and obviously follow Starving Podcast. We got all the information in the show notes. You'll see it there because it's blown up fast. So, Justin, any last little tidbits I may have forgotten that you wanna expound upon? Give us a hot take or anything like that.
Um, we've been wanting to do this for a really long time. People that know my background, they know I'm adopted, and I was lucky enough to be adopted at birth. I didn't go into the foster care system. We're and my family's now my biological family and my adoptive family both know each other. They hang out. They've met when I was in high school, and bringing that sense of community in my family, and being as lucky as I've been to experience that, is really what motivates me to get this out to you guys and get you guys involved so that we can help these foster youth and some of these kids that didn't have a choice really to be placed into a nurturing home with loving parents. And for me, like, I just can't imagine waking up and not having anyone surrounding me that loves me for me unconditionally.
Hmm. Yeah, that's it's I think it's something that if you've grown up with it and you don't realize what you have. And I think that if we can, if we could do something good, help a few kids out, and also kind of help us adults out too. I mean, I think we've all experienced past traumas. I've got plenty of my entire mother's side of the family. My last name, we don't know my biological grandfather was adopted. Never knew uh, any of his family, so they just kind of slapped a last name on him. And this was in the dark ages of it.
Yeah.
So I think we all have a stake in this, and I think if you reach out into your network, you realize that it's not something out in the distance, in the periphery. I think it hits a little too close to home sometimes. So
Yeah.
let's get
Yeah.
after it.
Yeah, everybody has their story, and people are now that I've released this, people are sharing their stories with me that they're adopted or they know their niece was in foster care, and other inspiring stories. And we want to have more inspiring stories like that and give a lot of these kids a chance. And we want to do it through the normalcy, consistency, and loving community that CrossFit brings. So if you're looking to get involved, please donate. And if you're not in a financial situation, which we completely understand, to donate, even if it's $10-$20, it's fine. Just please share our posts online. You can find us on Instagram as at Foster__fit. So it's 2 underscores. So at Foster__fit. And then you can also email us at consistencybreedsgrowth@gmail.com or at fosterfitcompetition@gmail.com. And then if you're looking to donate or compete, you can find us at fosterfit.wodifyarena.com. And yeah, that's where you can find us currently. We'll have a lot of updates for the competition and things going forward and how you can be a part of it. And if you have any questions, please let us know.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it was good. It was good talking to you, bro. The Starving Podcast is out. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Science.